Gonna do a little video here of Takakura Composting. My friend Jose came to the finca today to demonstrate how it works. So I'm gonna let him tell a little bit about it here.
Hello, today we are visiting the Institute of Energy of Life here in Cajon, Pérez León, and we are doing a workshop on Takakura Compost. Takakura Compost is a Japanese technique. It's aerobic compost, and it have two big parts. First part is preparing a box where you are gonna put the dry mix, and later you are going to apply the bioferments. Which are the materials of this box? We're gonna use humus. Trey and I just pick up this from the forest. Humus is the first organic layer of the soil. This is full on mycelia. These white spots are mycelia. It's full in bacteria and other microorganisms. So the parts of the mix will be 2 parts humus, 2 parts salvado de trigo. You can use rice, or you can use, this is wheat. This is 2 parts as well.
This is made from sugar cane, right?
No, this is
wheat.
It's made from trigo.
Okay.
From wheat.
From wheat.
Yeah. This is gonna be the substrate of the box. And the other material is the rice hulls, which is gonna be 1 part. So what we're trying to do with this is imitating the soil of the forest. We are going to make a small piece of jungle inside a box to decompose organic matter. So we are going to start with the humus. We are going to use, so for every one of these, I'm going to apply 1 humus. Another 1 of humus. Now we're going to mix some salvado de trigo. So the idea is to reproduce the natural microorganisms of the forest, reproduce them inside this box. By adding this, I'm adding substrates that they really love. So the growth population is going to be exponential.
Why do they love this? Because it's full of nutrients? Or?
Yeah, this is a really good substrate for growing
So it's
fungi.
it's 2 parts humus to 1 part of that?
No, 2 parts.
2 to 2.
And 1 part rice hulls.
Okay.
Okay, we apply this, we mix it. We apply 1 of rice hulls. This is called granza in Spanish. This is a really cheap material. In Costa Rica we have several rice plantations. Where I live I can get this for $1. So it's really accessible for everyone. The humus, you can look at your next jungle, forest, piece of park, any natural space. Okay, we mix that. We are going to apply another 1 of, I'm gonna make it a little bigger. Another 1 humus and another 1 of this salvado. So this is the Takakura box. This is the first part. Now we need to produce 2 bioferments, 1 salt ferment and 1 sweet ferment based on sugar. Well, we're gonna use molasses.
I'm sorry, this box is always small?
You can, from this size you can grow. Yeah, you can do several boxes of half a bigger box. The thing of handling small boxes is because it's easy for a person to mix it. This box needs to be mixed every day because it's aerobic compost, so you need the air flowing in. That's why we're using a cloth, because air goes through the cloth. The plastic box have holes, and the cloth helps to avoid insects coming in and other small animals. So this is gonna be like this, waiting for the ferments. The ferments, it will take like 7 days to be ready. And then what you do is to chop your organic waste in small pieces and just add them here and mix them.
So when the ferments are ready, we can pour the ferment straight in and go ahead and add organic waste, or we wait?
No, okay. In 7 days, the 2 ferments are gonna be ready, the bioferments. You apply them, and you want a humidity of 40 to 60%. To get that humidity, you take a piece of the mix and go like this. If you have exceed of liquid, it's too humid. If you open your hand and it goes like this, it's too dry. When you want to get is a texture that when you press the mix, it stays with the shape of your hand.
Right.
That's the way to know how humidity is in the box, okay?
So we should just add like a little bit of the liquid until we get it to where we want it.
Half and half.
Yeah.
So you can mix it in a small container, 50% salty ferment and sweet ferment. Mix
Okay.
them and start applying it to a dry mix. After that, you will close the box. You will not touch it for at least 3 to 5 days. And what it will happen is that a huge growth of mycelium and fungi. The box will get a white layer on top. And when you see that, you know it's ready. At that point, you mix everything. You check the humidity again, which you can use water or you can use some of your ferments to arrange the humidity again, to settle the humidity, and you can start adding the organic waste every day.
For a box this size, like how much organic waste would you add
1 box of this size can handle about 1 kilo,
of waste?
1 kilogram per day. The great advantage of this is that when you apply this back to your gardens, to the soil, you are putting in bacteria, fungi that are going to regenerate the soil. It's really powerful compost to fix the soils.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now we are going to...
So it's just split wheat, or the husk, right, of the wheat?
This is like the dust.
The dust of. You can also use semolina, right?
Semolina is from rice, but we didn't find semolina, so we're trying this wheat.
Right.
But it's gonna work. I'm sure it's gonna work perfectly.
Okay.
And yeah, and if you have a problem of that your box is really wet, really humid, you can add some rice hulls or some semolina to bring humidity down.
Right.
If it's too dry, you apply water, or if you have ferments, it's better. You can apply more ferments. Okay.
Perfect.
This is perfect for houses in cities. When I was living in San Jose, I have this box inside the house. It doesn't produce any liquids, no bad smells. It's really efficient. So for composting in cities, it's a really efficient technique. Now I plant my greens and my food. I apply this mix when it's ready. When the box is full, because you have been doing a lot of organic waste, you can divide the box and now you will have 2 boxes. Or if you want to settle the compost, you take out some and let it rest for 10 to 15 days. And after that rest, it's ready to apply to a soil.
Perfect. So you don't apply it immediately to the soil?
No.
Never?
No, you want to let it rest.
Okay.
Why?
Because when it's fresh, it's still working. For example, it will have still fresh organic waste.
It's still too, yeah.
So you want to dry it a little. And the levels of the levels of the chemicals in the, well, not chemicals, well, yeah, natural chemicals will be really high. So you need them to settle down and balance.
Great.
Yes.
So now we're gonna make the ferments.
Now we're going to make 2 ferments.
Okay.
We can do it.
Hey, Permy. It's our little girl, Permy.
Okay.
What are you doing? She likes the blanket. We stole half of her blanket. We cut her blanket in half.
Okay, so ferments. Fermentation is a great technique for prepare, well, in my case I prepare food, fermented food. This type of ferments can be used as alone. They don't need to be mixed with the Takakura, but it's how we do it in the Takakura. So this is just a fruit, scraps. You can take out the seeds, the mango seed, you can take out. We have a lot of pineapple which fermentates really good. And what we are going to do with this, where's the yeast? Can you please bring the yeast?
I think it's on the
It's
table
on that table right there.
in the kitchen.
Does it matter?
No, in the garden.
Oh, in the greenhouse.
Does it matter? Because sometimes I've learned, you know, citrus is sometimes
No.
too acidic.
There's not any.
Takakura Compost can manage citrus and all type of waste. We don't manage bones, but we don't need bones in this property because it's a raw diet. So we don't have any bones. And if you have any meat, which we don't need any meat, we don't. The Takakura can handle the meat. Okay. So we are waiting for the yeast, which is one of the ingredients of this bioferment.
What about?
Is that you're gonna use all that scrap?
Yes,
Okay.
it's very powerful.
What about
Can you open that please with the knife?
other
You hold
insects and things in there? Like in a normal compost, you'll have a lot of worms.
You will have some insects in there.
and it's fine.
There's one common fly that it's called soldier fly, and
Whoa.
they love the Takakura.
We're gonna dump the whole thing.
No, we are gonna use about 50 grams for 5 gallon. It's half of this package.
So dump it in.
Yeah. So we have the fruit scraps, only fruits. Then
This
it
is for the
comes-
sweet.
for the sweet. A little more. And this is yeast. We mix it. And then we apply, you can apply sugar. In this case, we are going to use
Molasses.
molasses, in Spanish, melaza. And this is going to be a great substrate for the microorganisms to develop. We are looking microorganism growth in these buckets, in these ferments, okay? So we are going to apply this jar. If you want to from here.
So that's about a pint of molasses to probably 3 gallons of fruit scraps and 500 grams of yeast, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So then we apply water.
And you want it to be submerged.
Submerged, yeah.
So that's it, huh?
That's it, and we are gonna cover this. We need to stir this once every day,
All right.
and in 7 days this is gonna be really fermented. So this is the sweet ferment because it's based on sugars.
The video's got 4 more minutes of it'll film
I will finish the
without because it breaks it up into segments if
okay. The second ferment is based on vegetables, no fruits, green leaf, and what we apply to this one is salt. We are applying like 8 ounces of salt to this bucket. Just salt. Green leaves, which this leaf also contain bacteria and microorganisms as the fruit scraps. On the outside there's a lot of microorganisms which are going to grow from those scraps. We apply the water.
So this one's just salt and vegetable.
Huh?
There's some lime in there. We should take that out.
No
Yeah.
problem.
No problem.
No.
No yeast? No yeast in this one?
No.
So what's the difference? I mean, meaning, why do you need both, or what happens if you just did this one?
You
or just
can
did this,
experiment, but the idea is to promote different species of bacteria and different species of fungi. So that's why we have different substrates.
Or... Okay.
Because some species are gonna grow in here and other species are gonna grow in here. And that's why we have different vegetable materials. These are greens and vegetables, this is fruits, more sugar.
Okay, so the next step is just to wait 7 days, stirring these once a day, and then mixing the ferments, right?
That's right. And then letting the box rest with all the ferments inside for 3 to 5 days.
You don't stir it or nothing.
No, just let it rest, and you will have an amazing white layer of microorganisms alive. You will have a piece of forest in your house ready to compost your organic waste.
So after the 3 to 5 days, then we break it up and do that every day, mix it every day after that for a little while, or
No, you can start
applying
the waste.
immediately after that.
Just every day we need to control. This needs to be under a roof. We need to control humidity every day. The first days is gonna be really high temperatures. You need to be careful with your hands because it can burn your hand. And that's it. When the box gets full, you can divide it, or you can start using after resting the compost for 10 to 15 days back to the soil.
Perfect. So this is something we intend to continue and keep going here at the farm and utilize on all the vegetables and our beds. And it's actually also good to take some of the finished Takakura compost and add it to our existing compost piles, which will increase the microbial activity in them. We have our 4-bay composting system here that I just turned this about 5 days ago. I'm going to give it another 4 or 5 days and turn this again. And we're not adding to. This pile here is our kitchen waste, where we continuously adding our kitchen waste until we have enough volume, and then we turn it. We add carbon in between each 5-gallon bucket of waste, and then we'll turn it and leave it. We add little horse manure and some biochar to it before we set it up to be a leave alone compost that we turn every 7 to 10 days until it's ready. So hope you enjoyed the Takakura composting little workshop. We'll make another video when the Takakura is finished and show the process of mixing